Hello everyone, I am D-Mind, the mind of one and all, and welcome to a brand new playthrough of One Small Fire at a Time. Oh boy, it's been so long since I've hit that intro, like, really? Whew. How many months has it been? Since April. Yeah. So yeah, I finally get to do more recordings, and man, I miss doing recordings now. So yeah, I have a lot of games on the list since I went on hiatus, and I decided, you know what, for the first game after a long while, let's just play a nice, relaxing visual novel. And if you don't know, this visual novel, One Small Fire at a Time, is actually a prequel to another visual novel that I've already played called An Octave Higher. Not a sequel, a prequel, that means it takes place before. So yeah, that's interesting. It's by the same developers, of course, and well, if you haven't played or watched my playthrough of An Octave Higher, I would actually suggest you do that because, well, even though this is a prequel, I might still make reference to like the sequel being An Octave Higher. I'll be like, oh, it's you're going to become this in the future, or your son is going to become that in the future, or something along those lines. Yeah, so I might spoil that game. So yeah, if you haven't already played that game yourself or want to see me do a playthrough, I would recommend you watch that first before jumping into this. So yeah, before we start the game, let's go into the settings. There isn't that much settings, but I guess it's a visual novel, what to expect. They got this music and sound effects, sliders, display windows at full screen, and of course, you got text speed and autoplay delay. We'll just leave that. And you also got change language, which, interesting enough, they have Espanol. But it will of course be in English. Oops. Oh, we restarted the game for that. Alright. Anyway, so yeah, without further ado, let's begin One Small Fire at a Time. Interestingly enough, actually, when I first heard this game when it was in development, it was supposed to be called One Small Flame at a Time. I guess they changed it to One Small Fire at a Time, but both ways this title is a bit long, but oh well. I don't know who's saying this, but I'll just say it anyway. Sometimes I wish I was completely mad. Like screaming and raving at empty walls, crying and laughing at the same time, mad. That would be liberating. But the state that lies between sanity and insanity continues to torment me. It's a feeling that's impossible to explain. It's a state of perpetual misery, but you can't figure out what's causing it. You know there's something wrong with you, but you can't quite figure out what it is. I'm guessing this is actually Janice Wolf. Yeah, so if you don't know, the main character, well, I don't know if there's multiple main characters, like An Octave Higher didn't have one main character, there was 3 main characters. So one of the main characters at least is Janice Wolf as a little girl, since this is a prequel. So yeah, I open my eyes to see the room painted black by darkness. I stare at the ceiling, maybe if I stare long enough something will appear. Nope, nothing. Just that old dull ceiling, as boring as the dead of night. The silence is deafening in the small bedroom. Nothing can be heard, nothing is moving, nobody speaks, for there is nothing and nobody here. I try listening to nobody. Maybe if I listen, nobody will tell me goodnight. Nobody will read me a bedtime story or sing me a lullaby. Sure enough, nobody does that. I'm all alone. Huh. Oh yeah, Janice Wolf, I believe from the description she was an orphan. Yeah. I raise my right arm, reaching out toward the dead ceiling. Maybe somebody would take my hand and put it in theirs. Someone, anyone, but who would do that? A god? A devil? An angel? A demon? A ghost? A spirit? Anyone? Anyone at all? Anyone would be fine. I wait a minute. 2 minutes. My hand feels as heavy as lead. How long has it been? Won't anyone take my hand? No? Okay. As usual, nobody takes my hand. Nobody ever takes my hand. I let my arm fall limply to my chest. I use that arm to hug myself since nobody ever will. Well, at least we can explain why Janice Wolf becomes who she is. Well, she's not a terrible person in the future, but she's kind of cuckoo. Yeah, especially when you see her like burning her enemies. Woman. And once you can feel your mana gather in your hand, you just aim at your target, open your hand, and pa! That's wind magic. Oh wait, I wonder if I can still remember the elements and the personality with the element. So courage is fire, willpower is earth, faith is wind or air, intelligence is water, and compassion is healing. Ha! I still remember it. Oh boy, that's one problem I remembered from the previous game. There was a lot of exposition. Since this is a prequel, I wonder if they'll give you the same exposition. Like they'll be like, oh yes, the elements have a nature to them. Compassion is healing and all that, and they'll be like, no, I don't need to sit through the same exposition. Yeah, that's the problem. There's too much exposition. I feel like they could have cut it to like nearly half the amount of exposition they gave you. Oh well. A breeze gently brushes my face, slightly stirring my long hair. Got it, Janice? That was wind magic. Now try with your own magic. Silver strands of hair fall over my eyes. Janice, are you listening? I brush them to the side with a hand, and so her name's Anna, Anna's palm hangs in front of my face, still gleaming from the magic. I heard you, Anna. Good. Now you try. I've tried it countless times. This one's not going to be any different. Well, try again. Don't give up. With a sigh, I raised my hand so that it's pointing toward Anna. Good, good. Now try to focus on your magic power. Remember, magic always comes out of your hand, so concentrate on your mana there. Can you feel it? How should I know? I don't even know what this mana and magic stuff is supposed to feel like. Yeah, I think. Good girl. Now all you have to do is invoke the summon magical ability on your magical trait to cast the spell. What was your magical trait again? They told me it was courage. How would they know? Great. Courage is the trait for fire magic. Now summon some fire. Try shouting it like this. Summon. Wait. Anna gawks at the hand in front of her face. Hey! If it's fire magic, don't aim it at me. Summon. No! Ah! Wow. She turns her face away and tries to shield it with her hands. Oh. As she peeks through a gap between her fingers, she blinks a few times. I told you I've tried this countless times, but nothing ever comes out of my hand. Anna and I lowered our hands at the same time. I can't use magic, Anna. Well... Why don't I show you again? There's no need. You demonstrated dozens of times. I'm sorry, I'm such a terrible teacher. To be honest, I have no idea how to cast magic spells either. I was just suddenly able to do it when I was a child. That's how it is for most people. But I'm not most people, which is why I'm here. Here, in this case, is the madhouse. I suffer from what people call lunacy, madness or insanity. It's a disease unlike any other. Normally diseases can be cured with magic, but not lunacy. Lunacy isn't a disease of the body, but one of the mind. It comes in many forms. Some people talk and laugh to themselves, others have irrational fears about little things, or claim to see and hear things that aren't real, and so on. Since we lunatics can't properly function in society, we're kept in one of these madhouses for treatment. Unlike in hospitals where doctors would cast heal or cure on patients, wounds or the like, madhouses have alienists who diagnose and treat madness by regularly talking to inmates and therapy sessions. Well, I guess that's the best and only way to deal with that. And yeah, you might already notice the game is really dabbing a little bit on the exposition. Like, this is fine, this amount of exposition is fine, but I'm just worried it's gonna keep dabbing on the exposition. Like, the writers love their exposition in this game. They just need to control it a bit more, like, stop giving so much. I live in a madhouse called Eclipse, and I've been here for a long time. Let's try again, okay? I'll do my best to help you overcome your madness, so don't give up. Anna Polidori works as a nurse in Eclipse's children's ward. She only started here last year, but everyone likes her because she's really nice. Her main responsibility is to watch over and tend to our needs, but she also volunteers to do my therapy sessions almost every day. I don't know why she even bothers trying to teach an inmate who has what people would consider to be the worst madness one could have. And what's that? No, I'm tired, let's stop. Huh? But we just started. Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. Oh, come on, look at Candela. She's been sitting in that corner since before we started and she hasn't complained once. Her eyes. The girl Anna points at is sitting at a small table, her eyes glued to the bundle of paper she calls a sketchbook, and a pencil clasped in her hand. Candela Carroll is another inmate. At 16, she will soon become the oldest kid in the children's ward. The girl currently holding that title is moving to the adult ward in a few days. Candela never complains when she's drawing. Try teaching her magic and see how long it is before she loses interest. Well, of course she get bored. Candela can already use magic. Then see how long you can get her to do anything besides drawing. Look at her. We're talking about her in front of her and she doesn't even care. Candela continues to scribble in her sketchbook, never even bothering to look up. Well, you know Candela's condition. She was diagnosed with inattentiveness. That book is the only thing in the world that can hold her attention for more than 5 minutes. Fine. Please tell Mr. Sherwood to add inattentiveness to my diagnosis so I won't have to practice magic. What is this face? Oh, Janice, why are you being so difficult? Your madness is magic deficiency. Don't try to add anything else to that diagnosis. Anna and I decide to leave Candela to his sketchbook. But don't give up, Janice. I'm sure you'll be able to use magic sooner or later. Anyone can. Yeah, you'll be one of the strongest mages in Overture. Nah, it's too late for me. Most children cast their first spells before they turn 7. I'm twice that age and I can't make a single spark. No, you're only 13. Wait, you're still a few days short of 13, aren't you? 13, 14, what difference does a year make? It makes a whole lot of difference, you have no idea. You see, last year I was 20, right? I know. And now I'm 21, right? I know. Last year nobody made fun of me for being single. Sure, my friends told me I should hurry up and find myself a suitor. But now that I'm 21, they're all like, goodness Anna, you're already an old woman. Where's your fiancé? Does no man want you? Damn it, 20, 21, what difference does a year make anyway? Janice, why haven't I found a suitor? How should I know? Besides, weren't you the one trying to cheer me up? Why are you the one crying to me now? Janice, promise me you won't get married before I do. What are you saying? That's the least of my concerns right now. I'm only 13. I don't think Janice was married. Either that or just never mentioned her husband if she did have one, but I don't think she did. I know. Once you reach marriage age, we'll elope together. Anna, what the hell are you thinking up there? Janice, Anna... We're interrupted by the mellifluous voice of a girl wailing from the corner. It's, what's your name? Oh wait, Candela, yeah. I'm terrible with names. She moves next to us, her sketchbook held close to her chest. Yes, Candela? Candela? Yeah? Do you need something? What? You called out to me and Janice. Did you need something? Candela returns to her corner. She sits down, opens her sketchbook, stares at the open page, and closes the sketchbook again. Janice! Anna! She gets up once again and makes her way towards us, this time with purpose. Once she arrives, she opens her sketchbook and shows us a page. Look what I drew! Yeah, of course, add cat ears and tails to us. On the page is a pencil sketch of me and Anna. Oh wow, Janice, look! Candela drew us! We're so beautiful in this drawing, aren't we? Yeah, very beautiful. I bet that Anna in this picture will have no trouble getting a suitor. Oh, Janice, why are you being so mean? Janice, don't be mean to Anna. A child who was an inmate at a madhouse was just told not to be mean to a nurse. You heard, Candela, don't be mean to me. And the nurse is happy that she's being protected by another inmate. How sad, Anna. I look at Candela's sketch again. As Anna said, it is indeed a beautiful drawing, but something is glaringly wrong. What with the cat ears and tails? I point a finger at the pair of oversized triangular ears peeking out of my hair in the sketch. What? As usual, Candela isn't paying his attention. What's wrong with cat ears? I like them. Oh, those! I thought you two would look cute with them. You're still as weird as always. Well, at least you didn't draw Anna with a horn or on her forehead again. Huh? She drew me what? Candela returns to her corner with her sketchbook and once again picks up her pencil. Apparently she lost interest in the two of us. Candela, why don't you help me teach Janice magic? It'll serve as a great reminder for you too. Candela puts her pencil back down. I thought she can't have an attention span of more than 5 minutes. I can. Huh? Why? I'm out of mana. Oh, why didn't you tell me? Okay, let's get you a mana potion. Come with me. Anna turns to me before leaving with Candela. Wait here, it won't take long. The two girls disappear into a room, but before the door closes, Anna peeks her head out of the door. Don't go anywhere, okay? We'll resume our session after this. You're gonna go somewhere, aren't you? Of course you would. Oh no, you're gonna give me the choice. Ah. How do you... yeah, you safe here. We're safe. Wait for Candela to go outside. Personally, I would wait for Candela. But knowing Janice... Should I play by the character? That means what I think the character would do, or should I play by what I would do? I'm also curious what to go outside, so I'll just click that. I don't feel like waiting, even with Candela, so I'm never going to learn magic, so instead I'll go outside. Yeah. The air is warm under the autumn sun. Are we even in Overture? I scan my surroundings while admiring the greenery of the complex. At this hour, many of the kids are playing outside. My eyes end up staring at a girl standing still underneath a tree. Even when a leaf falls from the tree and lands on her nose, she doesn't flinch, as if she was a statue. She's alive, of course. She wouldn't be standing like that if she were dead. It's just something she likes to do, a hobby if you will. After a while, my eyes start to wander again. Eventually, they spot a little boy running alone on the vast field of grass. He runs round and round, making sharp turns on a whim, giggling all the while. Suddenly, he waves a hand in the air and yells, "Tag, you're it!" before turning and dashing off in the opposite direction. Never does he stop laughing. My gaze begins to drift again and finds another house that looks somewhat similar to the one behind us. You'd think the two wards would be in the same building or maybe right next to each other, but here they're actually quite far from each other. The exposition has begun. Seeing all this reminds me of just how big Eclipse is. The two houses are located inside the complex, and the complex itself is separated from the city streets by massive stone walls. See what I mean? They just love it. So far, I mean, we just started the game, but knowing the writer of this game, it will just keep going. People who come to Eclipse often point out how easy it will be for inmates to escape, since the only thing standing between them and the outside world is a wall, and no one can easily get over a wall with a levitation spell. What are the madhouses do to prevent? This is simple. Don't give inmates mana potions and keep them locked in their wards. Eclipse's owners, Mr. and Mrs. Sherwood, however, chose a more humane but more expensive solution. They're called magic machines. These new inventions allow magic to be cast without magicians, but I don't know anything about them beyond that. Mr. Sherwood bought them and installed magic machines that erect invisible barriers along the perimeter of the complex, effectively extending the walls to the sky. That wasn't in the previous game, and that was in the future. It is impossible to break through the barriers, but most children's magic isn't powerful enough for that. Adults, however, aren't allowed outside their ward for that reason. It's also technically impossible to just get over the barriers. Wind magic users can use a levitation spell, and earth magic users can lower gravity. But once again, the limitation is the amount of magic power required to accomplish such a feat. Most children who use wind magic can levitate a dozen yards at most, and earth users aren't powerful enough to completely nullify gravity. The only way in and out of Eclipse is through the main gate, but it's locked most of the time. I wander around some more and arrive at a large yard behind the children's ward. A number of pillars stand in the distance. Years ago, they started constructing a new building, but the project was cancelled shortly afterwards. I can still see some of the tools and other stuff they use scattered about. Nowadays, the construction site has turned into a playground for the older boys. Unfortunately, some of those boys beeline for me, and they are the last people I wanted to see. Hey, if it isn't the freak! I really don't want to deal with them, so I try to move away, but one of the boys stands in my path. When I turn, another boy blocks my escape. Soon I'm surrounded by 5 boys around my age. I face the first boy again, who happens to be their leader. Go away, Drake. Leave me alone. Have you learned to use magic, freak? There's no point in answering. We've had this conversation many times and it always ends the same way. Still can, huh? That's really pathetic, right guys? The 4 other boys shout in agreement. Yeah, so pitiful. The third tries to say something but forgets what he wanted to say. The last boy says, I think she's too stupid to use magic. Followed shortly by, I think so too. His underlings' responses evoke a smug smile from Drake. I've always wondered just how messed up your mind has to be to not be able to cast a single spell. What do you think, Janice? I don't know what kind of lunacy Drake suffers from. Besides the fact that he acts like a hotshot, his behavior seems quite normal. Aren't you going to answer my question? Maybe that's his lunacy. Though, if being an ass was one of the symptoms of lunacy, the city would run out of madhouses pretty quickly. To think that this immature brat is actually a year older than me, how would you know how people are like outside if you're kind of isolated in the orphanage? You need to be taught a lesson. Drake commands one of the boys. Hey you, attack her with your magic. Aye aye sir. Like, aren't they... You know the adults would punish you if they find out. The boy brings his right hand low beside his knee. It pulses with green light. Green light? Isn't that faith? Then he swings his arm up. Ha! As a gust of wind bursts from the ground, my hands lurch to hold my skirt down. Damn, just a little more and we would have seen her panties. Really? Hahaha. Well, I mean, boys will be boys. The other boys laugh at their leader. Just standing here makes me sick to my stomach and their laughter only makes it worse. I feel like shutting my eyes and covering my ears until it all goes away, but I don't. That's what they want to see, and I'm not going to give them what they want. Now it's my turn. Drake aims his hand at the ground and casts a spell. The ground suddenly jerks beneath my feet and I stumble, falling to one knee. Ha ha ha. Even after the quick stop, I could still feel the aftershock that was Drake's laughter. I don't like it at all, so I force myself to stand up. Drake points at another boy. Your turn. The boy brings his hand in front of him and it begins to violently shake. He pulls that arm as far back as he can. And then suddenly he flings his arm forward, aiming his hand at me. Summon! You're trying a rocket? Oh wow. I glance up to watch a small dust storm swirling fast around its center, forming a rock the size of his fist. The rock shoots out at me. Ah! I'm not quick enough, the small rock hits just below my collarbone and sends me tumbling backward. My shoulder takes the brunt of the landing, aside from the sting of that, and where the rock hit me I'm not injured thankfully. Hahaha. Beautiful! The boys cackle with laughter again. Why do I feel like this is gonna bite them back in the ass? Like, Janice is suddenly gonna become super powerful with magic and then she's gonna be like... She's gonna like get revenge. Like, that's how these things go. They've done it now. I feel my body shaking. I want to leave. I don't want to be here. It's funny how I was so eager to get out of the house, but now all I can think about is running away back inside. No matter where I go, I'm never able to find safety or comfort. But I won't run away. Never. I'll never give this bastard that satisfaction. The son of a witch. Huh? Did you say something? Still squirming on the ground, I glare up at the boy who summoned the rock. What are you looking at? A weakling with no magic like you should learn to show some respect. I slowly rise. I straighten my posture and take a deep breath. She's not gonna cast magic, is she? I don't think she would. I move my right foot half a step forward and turn my left foot outward and bring my hands in front of my abdomen. My arms are almost straight but still relaxed. Try that again. Huh? I said try that again. Whoa, that's chapter 2 already. I mean, that was the whole chapter 1. Chapter 2, Dragoon. I think we're not Janice Wolf anymore. But in the previous game, to show that we transition from one character to another, they'll show like the character come in and then we enter that character. Something like that. Like, then they fade away. That shows that we transition from character A to character B, but there's no transition. This could be the professor, or it could be, oh, what was his name? Godwin. Geoff Godwin, yeah. The sign at the gate reads Eclipse, much to Aiden Wolf's relief. He had expected a gloomy rundown building in the middle of nowhere. Aiden Wolf. Oh no, Aiden Wolf is Janice Wolf's father? I mean, that's where Janice got the word wolf, right? So he's gonna adopt her, I think. Yeah. He expected a gloomy rundown building in the middle of nowhere, but while it's supposedly a dwelling for social outcasts, turned out to be a rather nice looking establishment in a part of Overture that was much greener than most of other places in the city. It was a little far from the business district. In fact, Aiden guessed it was closer to the outskirts of the city, where factories had been cropping up lately, but he thought it wouldn't be bad to consider moving to this area when he retired in 20 years or so. Hopefully. Holy... he looks like a badass! He gazed at the air above the gate and sensed a faint amount of magical energy. It was incredibly weak, much weaker than the aura from elemental magic that most people could sense. Sometimes he hated how overly sensitive he became to these things, but that was what years and years of magic combat had done to his senses, and without them, he wouldn't have survived all those battles he'd been a part of. "What's wrong, Commander?" asked the man beside him. What is up with this, what do they call this? It's not like normally visual novel has a text box down here. And then, but this is one that covers the whole screen. What do they call it? There's a term for this kind of visual novel. I forgot, but why did they change that? I don't think the previous game did that. For the most part. I mean, maybe a bit. "What's wrong, Commander?" asked the man beside him. "Nothing," Aiden answered, as he leveled his gaze at Professor Poe. Poe! Oh, that's the professor. Even a professor from the Conservatoire d'Ouverture, widely regarded as the most prestigious school of magical science, failed to sense it. Geoff Godwin, right? "Is it a magic barrier?" another man asked. Aiden was surprised that the young Lord Godwin could sense the invisible barrier. It was nothing more than raw mana given semi-physical form, but the man added, "Probably cast by that magic machine," pointing to a metal box mounted on the wall next to the gate. "That is correct, my lord," Aiden replied, realizing that it wasn't the barrier that Lord Godwin had noticed, but the machine that cast it. I don't like this way of a visual novel, like just show that it's much easier to just have a text box and then put the name up there so I know who's reading. Instead of saying, "That is correct, my lord," then I have to read Aiden replied to know who said that previous text. I know books does that, but that's why I don't read books. Who read books? I'm lying, I read a bit of book, but not really. I read more visual novels. That's to be expected, however, from a man who made a living dealing in magic machines. He heard footsteps. From the other side of the gate came a woman. She opened the gate and let the 3 men in. "Good day, gentlemen," the lady said with a well-practiced courtesy. "My name is Oriel Sherwood." Again, I don't like this way of story. Why did you change? Earlier you were in a visual novel style and then you changed to this. "My husband and I run this madhouse." She turned to Lord Godwin. "You must be Lord Godwin. We have been expecting you, my lord." He nodded. "Nice to meet you, Mrs. Sherwood. I am indeed Geoff Godwin, founder of Magical Mechanical." Oh, you really founded it by this time. You're quite young to have. He always spoke in an almost toneless voice that carried neither friendliness nor hostility, but instead gave off an air of nobility that one would expect from one of his standing. He looked a bit more... I mean, yes, of course he's young, but When he's older, he was like, he always has this emotionless stare, like he's always judging you. Like, I remember, what? Frederick was pointing it out, like, he was born with that face. But I guess not. He seems normal, like, he doesn't have that emotionless face. I've heard good things about your company. Still young, but already one of the most promising magic machine manufacturers in Overture. It would be a great honor to work with you and Magical Mechanical, my lord. I do hope we can work together, ma'am. The lord added, I hope you don't mind that I brought some acquaintances of mine. He gestured to Professor Poe. This is Professor Johann Poe from the Conservatoire d'Ouverture. Nice to meet you, ma'am, said Professor Poe, smiling. Nice to meet you too, Professor, Oriel Sherwood said. And this is Commander Aiden Wolf. He's a member of the Overture Police's Dragoon unit, Lord Godwin continued, gesturing to Aiden. Nice to meet you, ma'am. Nice to meet you, Commander. The woman couldn't conceal her surprise at the mention of the police's Special Forces unit. So many important guests today. Please come in. Oriel Sherwood led the men into one of the houses, the one nearest the gate, and showed them to a living room. Now this is weird. This isn't... Okay, so I'm used to their... I thought I was used to their writing. What they like to do is they like to take different perspectives, which I kinda actually enjoyed. Like, at one point we'll be like in Jenny's perspective, and another point we might be in like Geoff Godwin's perspective, and then they'll speak their mind. Like, I was like earlier when we were playing as Janice, she was like, I stood up, the boy hit me, it hurts, and we hear her point of the view narrating the story. But now this isn't anyone narrating the story. It's Oriel Sherwood led the men into one of the houses, the nearest gate, and shoot them into a living room. None of the guys would think this. It's just a description. I guess that's why they do this whole thing, like, it's not the normal visual novel style, because we're not playing from anyone's perspective? Huh. She offered the guests seats, which they accepted. Lord Godwin scanned the empty room. Is Mr. Sherwood away? We could always come back at a more convenient time. Oh, don't worry, my lord. My husband rarely ever leaves Eclipse. He's currently at the other ward. I hope you don't mind waiting here while I get him. Aiden had heard that Eclipse had separate buildings for children and adults. I see. That's alright, ma'am. Oriel Sherwood bowed to the lord and left. The men sat waiting, passing time by making small talk about the madhouse. This looks just like a normal house, Professor Poe remarked. See, this is why I don't like the game. He's like, Professor Poe remarked. Can't you just put a text box? I immediately know Professor Poe speaking. I mean, they did just show the sprite, Professor Poe's sprite, but still, I'm more comfortable that way. I didn't have the same opinion. Oh boy, I didn't even look at the time. Huh. So yeah, I should be ending the episode. So yeah, that's it for this episode. So leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at DMindGaming if you have enjoyed. And I hope to see you again in the next episode.